The world of Aurelia was once a masterpiece of creation. Its skies unbroken rivers of starlight, its lands intertwined in perfect harmony. But this age of light ended when the celestial mirror, the heart of Aurelia's stability, was shattered in a forgotten cataclysm. The realm fractured into countless dimensions, each a distorted echo of the whole. The mirror's protectors, once noble guardians, were twisted by the chaotic energies, becoming wardens of their own broken realities. In the quiet, forgotten village of Thorn Hollow lived a young man named Kale. He was a restless wanderer, his heart filled with a yearning for a world he'd only heard of in faded legends. One afternoon, seeking solitude beneath the roots of an ancient oak, his fingers brushed against something cold and smooth. It was a shard of the mirror. It pulsed with a strange, silent energy, flooding his mind with images of a fractured sky and a whispered, unspoken command: gather the fragments and restore the skies, or watch as every dimension crumbles into nothingness. Kale set out with little more than a battered iron sword, a cloak stitched by his grandmother, and a heart now burdened with purpose. His path first led him to the city of Whispering Spires, where he met Lyra, a mage ostracized for her unorthodox magic. Her spells didn't just manipulate energy. They painted the air in colors unseen by mortal eyes. She saw in Kale's shard a potential cure for the magical decay bleeding through the realms and agreed to join him. Their journey then took them to the scorched earth of the Iron Wastes. There they found Bram, a blacksmith whose village had been turned to ash by a fireborn titan. His immense strength was matched only by his deep longing for a peace he could no longer find. He saw in Kale's quest a chance to forge a better world, not just with his hammer, but with his courage. Lastly, in the shadowy markets of a floating city, they stumbled upon Sarah, a thief whose laughter danced on the edge of danger. She joined them for the promise of unimaginable treasure, her sharp wit and nimble fingers a welcome. If unpredictable asset, together they became bound not by a shared destiny, but by individual choice. Their journey carried them through realms scarred by the mirror's fall. In the Forest of Echoes, the ancient trees whispered forgotten truths and tormented Kale with illusions of his deepest fierce failure, loneliness, and the worthlessness he'd always felt in Thorn Hollow. He persevered by clinging to the trust of his new friends. Across the Ashen Peaks, they confronted a fireborn titan, the very kind that had destroyed Bram's home, as Bram raised his hammer for vengeance. He saw the creature was merely protecting its young from the chaotic energies of the land. He chose mercy, a decision that tempered his strength with wisdom. Beneath the treacherous glass sea, a psychic storm raged until Lyra wove a spell of tranquility, calming the tempest. In that moment of calm, Sira used her cunning to steal another shard from the jaws of a sleeping Leviathan. But with each shard, they claimed, the weight of their task grew, the fragments themselves seeming to resist the pull toward wholeness. When only one shard remained, betrayal struck. Under the cloak of night, Sira vanished, taking the collected shards with her. She had been seduced by the darker half of the prophecy, that whoever held the reformed mirror could not just restore the realms, but rule them. Her absence left the group fractured and heartbroken. But Kale pressed on, realizing the quest was not about the shards alone. It was about trust, sacrifice, and the courage to face betrayal without surrendering hope. The final shard lay within the Citadel of Shadows, a fortress of twisted obsidian at the heart of the dimensional rift. There, the empty frame of the mirror hovered, the stolen shards swirling around it like chaotic stars. Sira stood beneath it, her face illuminated by their corrupting glow. Ambition burning in her eyes, the mirror trembled, torn between destruction and restoration. Kale stepped forward, not with a sword drawn for battle, but with a heart open to forgiveness. He spoke of their journey, of the good she had done, and of the fear that drove her to this desperate grab for power. He offered her a choice, not as a hero to a villain, but as a friend. Moved by his words, her ambition faltered. The shards stilled, then rose, spinning together in a symphony of light as the mirror reformed. Brilliant, healing light poured through the Citadel, binding the realms once more. Aurelia was healed, those shimmering cracks remained in the skies. Beautiful. Permanent scars reminding all of the cost of power and the strength of forgiveness. Cale returned to Thornhollow, not as a conqueror, but as a storyteller. His tale became a song sung by children. A timeless reminder that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to face it and to offer a hand of friendship even in the face of betrayal.